today I have to pop into Catford to sort a few things out before I leave. So I thought I would take you along. So if anybody is from South East London, then come and have a look at Catford and see if you think it's changed over the years. Further down there is Ladywell, and I went there a few years ago. If you remember the video of me going into the church and looking at the gardens, if I can find the link I'll put it in the description below. But that was Catford. I've done my business and now I've got some free time, so I thought I might walk up to Mountsfield Park, because that is in the first area that I ever lived when I came to London, in Hither Green. That looks like they've put a wildlife area here. This wasn't here when I was around. This is Mountsfield Park, which was on my doorstep when I lived over this side of town. And it's a huge park. And we used to come in here nearly every day, bump into walkers such as John and Reg. I think they've both died now.
Well, here we are in Mountsfield Park. We're called the Doggers, and this is the meeting of the Mountsfield Park Doggers. We've all come together today to meet up and discuss in an informal way the plans and developments for the park and how we'll be included in them.
It's a very friendly park, very sociable. It's a clean park, and I think the dog walkers and the dog people, we look after our dogs very well. We keep away from people, we report the crime that's here, and it's just a very friendly, clean park.
We're for anyway, so, you know, like we'll go through all the things that we would like and
It's a good thing, I think, to see all the people walking around here at different times of the day with their dogs, because I think when it's quiet during the day, people are coming through here, children going to school in the morning, it gives them a bit of support, you know, they're glad to see other people around.
We're all very friendly in this park, and we all look after each other. If there's anything bad going on in the park, we let everyone know. And it's not just for the younger people, me, it's for the older people as well.
Thank you.
And as you see, we have a policeman here. We try and keep them up informed. And as you see, they're friendly as well.
Sit on the seat there, Tone, it's easier.
Listen, see you all later. I'll see you later.
cheers.
See you folks.
If you want to get involved with Mountsfield Park Doggers, just come down to the park, bring your dog with you and start chatting to one of the other dog walkers. They'll soon point you in the right direction. Or you can look on the website myhithergreen.co.uk/doggers.
This I'm talking about 15 years ago, and it's huge. So this is one of the fields, Gotta keep an eye out because there's some vagrants walking around. And I used to be involved in the sort of Friends of Mountsfield Park. And there's a section on the far end where we would come every year and plant spring bulbs. Your daffodils and your tulips. It's weird, some places you feel like they've never changed. Oh, I'll take my hat off, I think. Whew, it is very warm. Just imagine if you lived in one of these houses, the view that you would get, and also the sound of the dawn chorus. Yes, down there, that's where we planted a lot of bulbs. Every morning we used to come over, and I didn't even have a dog. Come around, chat to the people, get to know them, learn a bit about the history of the place, and then end up in the park cafe for a cup of tea.
Last Sunday, local residents gathered together in Mountsfield Park to help plant spring bulbs. The bulbs and equipment were supplied by the council and gave the opportunity for residents to play a part in the ongoing development of the park.
We're in the park today because we want to help plant flowers, and I think it'd be really nice to be here in the spring and see all the flowers that we've planted come up. And it's nice to see so many people here with community spirit.
Snowdrops and bluebells were planted and will create a beautiful spring display.
I think it's great for the community because we can come back here and see this every year. And as it naturalises, it's a nice place, and each time you come back here, as the years pass by, you know that you've done something to help your community.
It's not the best day to see this, but in the corner there is Croydon, and going around Crystal Palace, and right in the distance, just about make out the Shard, which is London Bridge, and on the right hand side here it's Lewisham, which didn't have any of those buildings when I was here. All those high rise buildings are new. It's a nice little park. I can see there is actually a cafe, and just over on the right hand side there is a rose garden, so we'll go over. But I remember Reg telling me, because he was about 80 when I knew him, and he said he remembers during the war when all this used to be allotment sites. At the start of the war, the council came and they dug up this field and turned it into plots, and then obviously after the war had finished, they then converted it back to a field. They didn't do a very good job of it, I must say, because I am slipping and sliding and going into the mud, so I'm going to head back up to the path. this is new. This wasn't here. So I was here about 12 years ago, 15 years ago. And all this is new as well. This is like a fruit garden, I would imagine. Ah, look at this, with a library outside. We can close the doors. There you go, look at that. Bring your books and exchange them. Very windy, I must say. So I wonder if this is a sort of... Ah, yes it is. It's an allotment site. Community garden is run by volunteers. I wonder if they allow people to come in and just pick. Although the only offering I can see is spinach. Oh, and over this side, globe artichokes. I think this was just a bit of scrubland when I was here. They definitely didn't have this garden, otherwise I would have got involved and probably stayed on this side of town. Polytunnel. Oh, they've even got a wood-burning pizza stove. See, this is what you can do. Get a few people together. There's a squirrel there. Maybe he's waiting for a pizza. So the rose garden must be on the other side. Anyway, there's no roses to see at this time of year. Oh, well, if I ever come back in the summer, I'll certainly put this place back on my list to come and have a look at. Here are the rose gardens. 3 large beds of roses. I thought it was more. It's strange how the memory can play tricks on you. Well, seeing as I'm on this side of town, I'm going to go and walk down the street I used to live on. Because when I looked at Google Earth, and that is what's so good about Google Earth's street map, you can stay in your house in the warmth and look at your old haunts. But seeing as I'm here, I'm going to go and have a look at it, and then I'm going to go and have a look at the little street where all the shops were. Because apparently that has completely changed. Now I can already see changes even as I approach the street. When I lived here, these houses on the left hand side didn't exist. In fact, there was a field there because it was part of the old hospital complex. So this entire block just had a 6-foot fence with just hedges, and there was absolutely nothing there. So down to where the yellow van is, all this is brand new. I think those 2 little houses on the end, they may have been there, but these ones up here definitely weren't. When I lived on this street, I was working in the West End, running up to the West End nearly every night to do a bit of filming of a show. Even all this is new. All this is brand new. All this was a hospital, a disused hospital. I can't remember which number I lived in now. I think it could be this one. Yes, it was that one. Anyway, I'm not going to show you because obviously it's somebody else's house. But all this didn't exist. But I've just remembered. Let me take you down here, because there is something very interesting on the floor. Now, there used to be a plaque here. Apologies for the noise in the background. There's a garage there. They were always noisy buggers. This line here, there was a plaque to say, but it's gone. But this line represents the Meridian line that goes to Greenwich and goes all around the world. So this is where time starts, is the Meridian line would go through the end of my street. And I just had a memory of this bus stop here. The local services, Transport for London I think it was, wanted to abolish the night bus, which meant that if you were working in the night, there was no way of getting home other than walk into Lewisham and then walk in about 2 miles home at the end of the night. So we got a few of the locals together and we did a protest, and we managed to save the night bus. And when I was cleaning my boxes out the other week, I actually found the newspaper clipping of us all stood by the bus stop with our thumbs out, waiting for a bus. But all this is brand new. Well, the thing with these houses is they all look the same, just boxes. Now there was, and I hope it's still here, but in the middle there was a clock tower or a water tower, I'm not quite sure, but there was a clock on it. So hopefully that is still there. But it used to be a disused place. There were buildings falling apart. There were a tiny bit of NHS services being held. But where's this clock tower? What I find quite interesting is walking around around my old streets there. I have no attachment whatsoever. A few memories come back, but it's like walking around a brand new place. And that's what will happen when I move to Wales. I'll probably move back. I'll probably come back to visit Sydenham in the summer, and I'll probably get this feeling of it's just a place I used to live once. Right, here we are. We have found, we can cross the road here. Yeah, stop looking at the camera, just drive. There you go. This is the clock tower. And very rarely they used to open the clock tower and you could go up it. Well, I wonder if there's anything there now, like a museum, but all these houses, brand new. See, the thing is, this could be absolutely anywhere in the country. All these estates, they're all starting to look the same. There's a Christmas tree there. No, I thought it might have been a museum or something, but it's no. I'm aware of these 20 miles an hour signs. There's one there, there's one across the road, and I've seen them when I was coming up through Catford, and I never saw them before. Maybe I'm a bit more in tune with them because I know in Wales they've introduced a 20 mile an hour speed limit, but it seems to be they've introduced it into London as well, which I wasn't aware of. Unless this is a sort of trial place where they're going to try it out and then roll it out to the rest of the capital. I used to know this place like the back of my hand, and now I can't remember how to get to the train station. Ah, these are some of the... This looks... Oh yes, this was the surgery when I was here. So this was part of the old hospital. It looks like there's still bits of it that are still part of the hospital complex. Right, let us cross over. So there you go, that's a better view of the surgery there, part of the old Hither Green hospital. And this was the little high street, but this wasn't the one that I wanted to come and see. The one I want to see is on the other side of the railway, because Hither Green is split into two. And unfortunately, I think it was in the 60s or 70s, Hither Green became quite famous, but for the wrong reasons. I think the train station's down here. I've just had a email to say that my parcel from Marshalls, who sell garden plants, is out for delivery, which is all well and good. but I can't remember what I've bought. Ah, here we are. We're just approaching the train station, and it was on November the 5th, 1967. It was a busy Sunday evening when the train service from Hastings to London Charing Cross derailed here, because just further down on the right is the maintenance depot, and it resulted in 49 people dying and 78 were injured. And at the time it was billed as the worst rail accident in the country regarding deaths. Right, I think that takes us down to the train station. No, we'll go down there on the way back because I want to see if there's a few shops open. Because there was a new shop called Cordell's. And again, I've read up that they have painted the side of the wall here, which is the thing that they're doing in London over the last 10 years. It must have been 10 years, look, because it's faded with the name of the stations. Yes, look at that, that's well and truly faded. Like I said, Hither Green is divided into two, so we'll go under the railway track. Oh, look at that, that's new. The Hither Green Festival. So if you're in the area, looks like it's every May. What else is going on? Oh, a church hall is for hire. If you're looking for a church hall, £35 an hour. That's expensive. And again, there's another one of these boxes with books in. Right, let us go through the tunnel to the other side. So to catch the train, you'd go up there to the right. Ah, the Christmas tree is up. I've got a video on my channel of the Christmas celebrations here. Oh, that building on the left is new. Is anybody in here from Hither Green? Do you remember this place? Yeah, the bus stop is still there. But that building on the left, what is it? The old biscuit factory. All that is brand new. That didn't exist 15 years ago. So I'm assuming there was an old biscuit factory there. And they used to close this street down during the summer to have the fair. And all the shops are brand new shops. None of these shops were here when I was here. It's an outdoor place. Oh, the flower shop. I think that might have been there. But this corner shop here used to be a hardware store, like Arkwright's. And then across, just beyond the pub, there used to be a cafe called Rosa's Cafe that did a traditional breakfast. And I would imagine that's gone because she was of an age back then. Yes, that's gone. It used to be, if I remember, in the middle where this hairdressers is now. That's where it used to be.
Expertly done. Cheers.
Do you want to say a Merry Christmas to all the viewers? Do you want to all get it? All get.
Come on.
After
Merry Christmas.
Do it. After three.
Right?
1, 2, 3.
Merry Christmas.
Do you want to say the name of the shop? Says Merry Christmas from.
South London Supplies.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Merry Christmas from South London Supplies. Go away.
So if you just explain what's going on today then.
Yes, it's the FUS Community Festive Day where we raise money to help pay for plants during the summer and any other activities that we may want to do. We have actually won the Outstanding Award, Neighbourhood Award for London in Bloom for 2 years running.
Christ is born in Bethlehem.
Yes, it was quite a nice little place. We used to have flower boxes. Nice to see they still got some. And look, they've put some knitted jumpers on to keep the trees warm.
Today is a planting day for FUS, Friends and Users, Staplehurst Road and Shops, and loads of people from the community have come down and lent a hand today. We had a production line of planting going around at the pub. We've had boxes and troughs being planted so that they can be suspended outside the shops locally. And then this is one of the bigger displays, a new display that has actually just been built over the last couple of weeks, which you know, people old and young have been lending a hand to.
Cheers. It's just fantastic for the area. I mean, on the day it's just brilliant because it's so nice seeing people looking after the area on the day, so you have a really nice vibe.
We used to do those boxes, and I was known for trying to push to have scent in the boxes because it was all very well to have colour. But sometimes it's good to come out and smell the roses. But yes, that's Sainsbury's. That's new. That wasn't here. And there's the train going over. I tried to set a scheme up where we took on the sidings here and put some flowers, but they weren't interested. Not on this side, but I've heard somewhere, maybe on the other side, they have actually put a nature reserve. So they did do something. One final look before we leave. So we're back on the right side of the station, and that little row of shops there, all this has changed. See, Cordell's used to be on the corner there, which was a fruit and veg shop, and it's still got the name above the door. And then across the way there, that used to be a flower shop, and you forget, and then with a paint shop above it. See?
Well, the reason why I want to open a shop like this, I think it's good for the community, and Springbank Road has always been a bit, so I think it's time to kind of bring it uptown a little bit, and I hope as time goes by it becomes quite a popular shop.
We've nearly got everything covered now. You can come here and get your flowers, your pot plants, flowers for the garden. Go there, get all your fruit and vegetables, your groceries, sandwiches, cup of cappuccino, and at the back you can get your bricks and your paint.
The name is still there, Paints. But all this is new. And that place called Three Sisters, that sounds familiar. I think that might have featured on one of the Mary Portas TV shows. But something that is completely brand new is just beyond the station here. All this used to be a field. So there's all these new houses here that didn't exist. But they kept the community garden, which is quite a good thing. So you've got the bus stop here, and then on each side there was a tiny bit of a garden that we used to throw our extra plants into. So it's nice to see that they kept that, even if there are houses beyond it. That's where the bus drivers used to go for a pee. That's a question you don't think of, is it? Where do bus drivers go when they want to have a pee? I must say it is a lot more livelier now than it was when I was here. When I was here we only had a few shops. See, it's all these videos, and even this one now where I'm just walking around the streets, it's all these videos that add up to a social history of a place. Like there, that's where the paint shop was. Although a lot of the locals did say that they never saw anybody in the paint shop. Nobody ever went in and nobody ever came out. A bit like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Anyway, thanks for joining me on this very impromptu little walkabout tour. I had an allotment in this site. This was my first place that I had a London allotment, but it's about a mile down that way and you can't see it from the road. It was opposite an estate that was full of prefabricated houses, but they tell me they've all been pulled down now. So, like I said, it's nice to come back to look at the place, but there's no affection, no pull for the place anymore. So maybe, in some circumstances, it's not good to go back. Just keep the memories in the head. Right, well, I'm going to head home now for a nice warm cup of tea. So I'll catch up with you next time. So from me until then, bye for now.